My Android phone looks like this. It's a low end, made for cricket, and I shouldn't be looking at myself. I should be looking at the camera. But this is my gingerbread Android, and it's slow. It's the Hawaii Ascend 2. Now I played on other people's Android devices. In fact, there's a guy at work who just received his Nexus 7 last night in the mail, and he bought it. And I was considering buying a Nexus 7 because it was only $200. That's a good price. That is an outstanding price for a tablet. Now, there are a lot of rumors out there that Microsoft will also sell their tablet for $200. I don't think that's true. I really do believe that the Microsoft Surface is going to cost probably be around $300, $299, $259. I mean, I can believe that more than $199. I just have a hard time believing that I can just take $200 plus tax and walk into a Microsoft store and purchase a Microsoft Surface tablet. I really find that hard to believe. And so this phone right here is was about $200 when it first came out, and this is not a really good phone. Okay, it works. The phone calls work on it. I hardly get drop calls, but cricket. You have to get what you can get. But with Microsoft Surface for costing $200, I really do find that hard to believe. And according to some reports out there, to build a Microsoft Surface from scratch and you got the same components at bulk rate, it will cost about $250. Now that I can believe. If Microsoft sold the Surface for $249, I would still get it. And you're going to say, well, where's the profit? How are they going to make profit? That's because software that is sold in the Windows marketplace, Microsoft takes a piece of that. So I'm thinking, sell the tablet for barely nothing, for $0 profit, and then make the money on the ads you get. And now, not to say that Surface will have ads popping up. No, it's not going to do that because OS is not supposed to do that. But you got to consider if you're using a Microsoft product like Skype, those they're going to have ads on that. They're going to make money on the software sold, and it's just a whole lot of things that you have to consider when you are trying to sell a tablet for $249 and making your money back in the long term. And this is a long-term investment. On the Windows RT, you can only buy apps through the Windows Marketplace. The same way on an iPhone and iPad, you can only buy apps through the Apple Store or the iTunes Store. They have a new name for it now. Google, you're able to install apps either from your computer if you download it from somewhere else, or you can go to Google Play and download it from there as well. The difference is that Google does allow you to install apps that is not sold in the Google Play marketplace or Google Play. It's just called Google Play. So what you have to look at is that Windows RT is simply a tablet, and it's nothing else. But just looking at what the Microsoft Surface will have as far as specs is concerned, even though we don't have a lot of information about specs. In fact, let's do something real quick. I'm going to pull up the spec list from the Microsoft Surface website. There's not a lot of information there. So we really don't know what this thing is capable of. We don't know what the RAM is. Well, we know what the memory is going to be 32 gigs. But we don't know how much RAM it's going to have. We don't know what's the exact speed of the processor. All we know is it's going to have ARM-based processors that's not going to use up a lot of your battery power. This is all we know so far. Windows RT is a 10.6 clear type HD display, 10.6 inches. That's not bad. It's going to draw in 31.5 watts per hour. It's going to have a micro SD card slot in it. It's going to have USB 2.0, micro HD video, and you also have a 2x2 MIMO antenna. And what that means is that the antenna is not just on the side, but it's also on the top or the side, if you're looking at it this way, but it's also going to have one at the top. So it doesn't matter how you hold your tablet, you're going to get the best reception through your Wi-Fi, whether it's this way or this way. And let me tell you, since I catch a train every other day here in Austin, Texas, they have Wi-Fi on it. Sometimes the Wi-Fi is not that great, so it's up to your device to keep that connection going. And if with two antennas, it doesn't matter if I'm reading it like a book or reading it with landscape mode, it's going to get that signal really easily. It will come pre-installed with Office 2010, Student 2013 RT, a touch cover, and a type cover. So it's going to come with a cover, which is really nice. I mean, according to this website here. Now, does that mean that will it include a touch cover? It says here it will, as far as features and options are concerned, but that could be an option. Okay, if they sell it for $249, there may be a good chance that the touch cover will be sold separately. But it will work with your Bluetooth keyboard. So even if I'm on a limited budget, I walk in there with $250 and I get my Windows RT tablet, then I'll just get one of those really small wireless keyboards. If the touch cover is really expensive, I'm thinking that the touch cover is going to probably cost about, top of my head, I don't have any facts, $100, $99. Let's say $89. Let's throw something out there, $89. And the type cover is going to, because it has mechanical keys and it's a lot more involved with it, I think it's going to go for like $129. So maybe I would have to get a really nice $49 Bluetooth keyboard or $89 one over at Fry's or something, or Best Buy. The case of the Surface is vapor magnesium case and stand. It's definitely a lot different from the aluminum case that the iPad has. They mentioned that they're using some type of glass, which reduces scratches. The iPad also advertises the same thing, where there's going to be less scratches on your iPad. But I still recommend you get some type of plastic covering on it, like I have on my phone here. It's scratched up now, as you can see. Well, you probably won't be able to see it because of the resolution, but it's pretty scratched up. But as soon as I peel this off, it'll be unscratched. And all I gotta do is drop in another one. So this protects it from scratches. So I still recommend you get that. Now, would that work with a touchscreen? Well, it works on this phone. It works on any other phone that you place this plastic on. So I do believe that it will work just great if you put some type of plastic covering over it. And hopefully that will be something that will be sold separately at the Microsoft Store to protect the case. Because, even though it has a cover, you may drop it, or you may scratch it up somehow, even with the cover off. So the touch cover won't be on at all times. So there are still chances of you scratching it really badly. And with the plastic screen on it, you'll be able to protect your screen and not have any scratches. Now, the Apple iPad, they have the same thing. You can get a screen for that, protected from scratches. Same thing with any Android device. Nexus 7 has a similar thing as well. Now, the question is, will I still get a Nexus 7? Yes, I will, because even though I prefer Microsoft, I thought I heard a noise. Even though I prefer Microsoft more than anything, there are a lot of services that I use through Google as well. I don't do anything Apple at this time. I don't have any iCloud. I don't have Apple TV, though I was considering Apple TV a long time ago. But I'm thinking about the Xbox, because I think the Xbox has more versatility. It's not just a gaming platform anymore. It's also a productivity platform. And there are going to be a lot of apps that will come out that will work with your Windows computer and tie it in together with your Windows phone and tie it in together with your Microsoft Surface tablet or any other tablet that has Windows 8 on it. Tie it together if you have an Android phone, because it will have Smart Glass. So I can have Smart Glass installed on my Android, on my Windows phone, on my Microsoft Surface, on my desktops and laptops, and everything will just seamlessly work together through Smart Glass. Already, Microsoft has several applications that work together in the business field. Like SharePoint works with Exchange. Exchange works with Active Directory. Active Directory works with Microsoft Office Communicator, now called Microsoft Link. And so all those applications work together as one unit. even though it's different software and different servers, they all work together. And to have it all work together, yes, it takes an IT personnel to tie it all together. But if you don't have a huge IT staff, you can always get with Microsoft Office 365, and there you go, a Microsoft product that is in the cloud. And the thing is that a lot of my stuff is in the cloud. My SkyDrive, my Office 365 account for my business, everything is in the cloud. So really and truly, this phone is useless to me. There's not really a whole lot that a Nexus 7 can do for me, except for accessing my Google applications. I do have a Google Apps account as well as a demonstration purposes, and in my business, I do advertise that Google Apps is a very good contender and a good option to choose. Definitely cheaper, whereas $5 per user per month, and Office 365 is $6 per user per month for the low end package. I don't recommend that package. I recommend at least E2 or E3. But there's a lot of different things that Microsoft has that just simply works, and all you need is just to bring it all together. Xbox, Windows Phone, your laptop, and desktop. It all can work together for the whole entire family. I recently got an Outlook account, Outlook.com, and I'm thinking about using it. It goes with my sHiZ branding. I have my old Live account, which goes with my old branding, which is under Labinex. That's a whole different story there. But Labinex I've been using ever since 1995, when the internet first was made public, to the general public, and I've been using it ever since. I haven't deviated from that. And then now I'm doing this sHiZ, so I'm changing my brand now. But I haven't really decided if I'm going to make that my primary email address for my devices. But yes, you do need a Windows Live account. Now, for corporates, that may not work so well. So I'm wondering if they're going to allow that their corporate email address, Exchange account, will be their main sign-in address for their computer. That may be a possibility. We'll see. Oh, air conditioning came on. With these headphones, everything, I just hear the bass, so I'm thinking that someone's coming through the walls or something. I'm like, whoa, whoa. So excuse me if I'm looking like I'm home alone. My wife is at work right now. But so I mean, Microsoft Surface is just a straight awesome product because it will work with all your current software. Now here's the problem. Microsoft Surface RT, Windows RT. Let's just talk about Windows RT for a minute. It won't run your applications that you can run on Windows 7 and Windows XP, and that would be a big problem. But can you run Apple software on an iPad? I know this is not an iPad, but I'm just using this as a display. Can you run a Macintosh program on an iPad? This is where next year, or it's probably coming up in the Apple announcement 1 week after Windows Phone 8, Nokia and Microsoft announcement, that they're going to either do it now, in 2 weeks from now, where they're going to announce an iPad that is a Mac. Okay? And it can also run previous iPad programs. I mean, this is what I'm seeing, that in order for Apple to stay in the loop and really stay in the game, let's say it like that, the iPad will be a Macintosh computer, and or it will be a slimmed down version of a Macintosh. Keep in mind that tablets aren't still powerful enough to run like a desktop, like the most powerful desktop out there. The tablets will be less powerful, even if it's a Windows 8 Pro. Though there's been some demonstrations online where the Unreal Engine number 3 runs very smoothly on an Asus tablet. So, and that's using Windows 8 Preview. So imagine that you can do all this great stuff. Now, what has to happen though, with Microsoft, I think what they're going to do in about 2 versions of Windows, or modern, or whatever they're going to call it, that they're going to get rid of desktop altogether. This is going to force people to start designing all their applications for modern UI. And the tablets, whether it's a tablet or whether it's Windows 8 Pro, I do believe that any application can work well with it just as long as it's signed using the Windows 8 codecs. Codecs, like it's an audio video file code. I think that's the future. I really think it is. In fact, I actually think that the Microsoft Pixel Sense will be the future Windows of maybe 2 iterations of Windows from now, where you have that Pixel Sense type feel where you can move stuff around, tilt and turn things. And if it's on a really big screen, it will really work great as far as, you can just move your PowerPoint presentation to the side, bring in a video, and then shrink that down, bring back your PowerPoint. And instead of touching the screen, you don't touch the screen anymore. You gesture. That is how you're going to control your PowerPoint presentations. Now, I know you guys been to a lot of PowerPoint presentations before. There's always somebody at the computer, and the guy says, next slide. Now, this is the projections for next year. Next slide. Well, next slide will be the Xbox or a Windows 8 computer built into a monitor that's on the screen, like the Samsung display that was at that announcement that when the Surface was, or the Windows Phone 8 was introduced. Or was that the Surface? I think that was the Surface introduction when they brought in a Pixel Sense. And it was on a big screen. Now, they were touching the screen, but I don't believe that's going to be the full functionality. Yes, it's going to be touch screen, but I do believe that the Connect will be built into the TV, or at least sit on top of the monitor, so that you can gesture your presentation as well, or talk to it. Next slide. And it does it for you. Or it will take in keywords. Like you can program the PowerPoint to when I say like in our projected revenue, and then automatically it will start displaying the revenue. It's going to be higher this year. And so what we have to look at, when I say look at, it changes and shows another projection that's even better if I'm trying to present something that's a better projection. Do you guys get my drift? Okay. If you guys don't, leave a comment and I'll explain it to you. Windows 8 is awesome. I played with it when I was at the Microsoft Store about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was able to play on the Samsung Series 3, and I was like, this is freaking awesome. It just works. Now, will I install it on my current computer? Well, I only got 2 computers. I got my wife's computer, which is this one here, and I got my computer, which is behind, which is a netbook. And since I only have 2 computers, I don't have a third computer that I'm not worried about breaking in case it doesn't work. Even though the Chris Perillo show, Locker Gnome, he did a test install and it failed, but it reinstalled Windows 7 back on his computer as it previously was before the Windows 8 installation. So even though you may not have to worry about Windows 8, I still don't think that I'm going to upgrade to Windows 8 from my Windows 7 computer. Okay, not because I don't trust Windows 8, just because it works. Windows 7 works just fine on the laptop that I have. What I'm going to do is buy newer computers, and this is why. Just a few years ago, if you're 10 years old, you're not going to remember this. CRT monitors were the only monitors available in stores. You could not buy a flat screen monitor. When flat screens came out, they were too expensive. So people still bought CRT because they were cheaper. Eventually, I don't know, even if pawn shops don't have CRTs anymore. Pawn shops don't have CRTs anymore. It will be very hard for you to find it. And if you find it, it's because that person still has a CRT from a long time ago. You can go to Best Buy and purchase a television set. It's going to be flat screen, or it's going to be DLP, or it's going to be a projector. LED, LCD, projector, or DLP. You will not be able to find a tube TV set anymore. Unless, again, you go to your grandpa's house and he still has an old setup. But even then, I still guarantee you that he probably got rid of his old TV set and purchased a widescreen TV. Because you had to. unless you got that box that converted your video to low definition. You had to, because over-the-air TV wouldn't do it. Oh, if you have cable too. Sorry, we got a little itch there. So cable allows you to have low definition, whatever. I don't even have cable anymore. I use Hulu and Netflix and Redbox. That's it. So this is what I'm talking about. So imagine that in the next year, I would say 2 years, but I'm going to guarantee 2 years. But within 1 year, you're going to see nothing but. Well, okay, I'm not going to say nothing but. Okay, I'll take that back. You're going to start seeing entries of touchscreen monitors for desktop computers being introduced into the lineups of monitors that's going to come out next year. Now, that's going to be next year. Every monitor out there is going to eventually be touchscreen. So those of you worried about, oh, this don't work on a desktop or a laptop, it doesn't have touchscreen, all that good old jazz and bull, get used to it. But anyway, you're going to have touchscreen anyway. On your next purchase of a monitor, your monitor is going to give out one day anyway. Your monitor is not going to work after a couple of years. So you got to go to the store and buy another one. And guess what will be the only thing available? A touchscreen monitor. That's it. And you're going to buy that touchscreen monitor, take it home, and you'll be punching that monitor all day and night. Any new laptop that's being made, maybe not this year, but next year, will be touchscreen compatible. Now, there's going to be a lot of people who are still going to be stuck to a laptop format. This laptop has a 17-inch screen. It's pretty big. I just picked it up if you're wondering why you're feeling seasick right now. It's a pretty big laptop. I like big laptops. I like 17-inch laptops. This is why when I get my Surface, it's going to be a 32 gigabyte Surface RT. I'm just going to get the lower end model because I'm not going to be worried about plugging in so much stuff in there because all my stuff is on SkyDrive anyway. My big computer is going to be a 17-inch Windows 8 professional laptop with touchscreen capability. So I'm going to have my full-fledged keyboard. I'm going to have a mouse or one of those flat mouses. I don't know what you call those, but it looks like this, and you can. I don't know what you call that kind of mouse. I'm sorry, wasn't prepared to give you the name of that kind of mouse, but you can get it at the Apple Store and even at the Microsoft Store. If you have an Apple, you can get it at the Apple Store. But that is going to be a part of it, and I do believe that if not Connect built in, it's going to have a Connect-like API so that I can gesture on my laptop as well. So I'm sitting back reading a book. I'm reading a book now, and I'm just like this, being all lazy, the way you should not sit in a chair. And I could just be like, next page, and just keep reading the book. I think that's how it's going to work. I'm not sure where my headroom's at, so I do apologize. Let me see what my camera looks like. Let me tilt it down just a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so I think that's how it's going to be. All my games, if I want to play boxing, I can do that kind of stuff. And I do believe that 720p is going to be part of the front-facing cameras. What you got to look at is the future. And people are so afraid of change. Oh my God, they don't want things to change. It's just ridiculous. This is stupid. It's changing. Get used to it. And one thing you have to realize too is that people will get used to the Windows 8 just like people had to get used to the first mouse. Now, I don't have the first mouse, but remember it was this beige color, very blocky, and it had two big buttons. In fact, I don't think they had the scroll wheel there. No, it was just two buttons. Yeah, it was two buttons. The scroll came in probably in Windows 95. But and this is before the laser, or not the laser, but the infrared, invisible optics. It says here. You don't even see red here because it says invisible optics. But this is before that time. In fact, I think I do have a. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that's it. All right. So that's before that. It was just a rollerball. Remember, you had to take that rollerball out and clean the pins inside. You have to sit there and get your fingernails in there and start cleaning that thing out. It feels like you're doing something to a woman. Sorry, my mind was in the gutter for just a split second. But that is what people had to get used to at first. People had to get used to working with a mouse. Now, will people get used to working with a mouse and keyboard in the Windows 8 environment? Yes, you will. Eventually, you're going to pick things up, and eventually, it's just going to become standard. It's just going to become a standard. That's it. It's not going to knock you out. It's not going to knock you out at all. My eyes are doing this because I'm trying to see what I'm clicking on. Wee, wee, wee. Okay. So it's not going to knock you out. You're going to get used to it. You're going to adapt because that is the way human beings are. We're meant to adapt to different changes, climates. When you have to move from one state to another, and another state has different pollens, different weather patterns. Hell, Austin is hot and humid most of the time, and we have to get used to that. So the thing is, you will adapt to how Windows 8 performs. You just get used to it. It will take a geek one day to learn how to use Windows 8. It will take an average user maybe 2 or 3 days to get used to. It's like, okay, where's that darn start menu at? If they're using Windows 8 Pro, where's that start menu? Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. Goddamn start menu, start button. I wish they put that thing back. But within 3 days, they'll be moving that mouse all around the screen like it's nothing. How long did it take you to learn Office 2007? A week, maybe? A couple of days? For power users, maybe 2 days. For people who use Office every once in a while, maybe a couple of weeks. And even today, I mean, I use Microsoft Office, but I don't use it a lot. I'm not a power user of Microsoft Office, okay? But the fact is, there are some times where I'm like, where is that goddamn shadow button? I'm trying to shadow my graphic, you know? And every once in a while, I do kind of hang up a little bit on trying to find where the buttons are and just trying to figure it out, you know? And that's just how things are. You're going to figure it out. It will just become easy. It will just become like second nature. Just like using a Mac. When you get on a Mac for the first time, yes, a Mac has a similar UI like Windows, but there are certain things about Mac that just do not do the same thing on a PC. So it may take you a day to learn how to use a Mac from using Windows. But if you don't like it, get a freaking Mac. But I guarantee you that Apple will also come up with their own version. It's not going to look exactly the same. It's going to be totally different. But they're going to come up with some type of touch UI that is going to rival Microsoft. And it may be better. Microsoft's come up with a new UI first. Apple's going to take a look at that. They're going to study. They're going to purchase a few hundred. They're going to purchase an Asus, an Acer, a Dell. They're also going to purchase probably like 50 different Microsoft Surfaces. They're going to rip it apart, study it, micro-engineer it. And they're going to try to figure out what they can do to make the next iteration of OS X and the next iteration of iPhone and iPad. I know I'm sweating. I got the air conditioning really up high, or when I say high, I mean it's like 80 degrees because I don't want it to come on as often. But it's hot here, so I can't sit here and die because if I leave the air conditioning off, it'll be like 90 degrees in here. But I don't want it to turn on as often while I'm talking to you guys because then you just hear that noise constantly. And I got 2 lights going at the same time. I got my energy efficient light bulb and I got the regular light bulb up there, which is a little bit brighter to give me more light. Maybe I should have had a backlight, you know, with that light back there. But anyway, so you're going to get used to it. It's just going to become second nature, and it will just be like nothing. And within a couple of weeks, you're going to be flying through Windows 8 like it's no problem. And eventually, you will step away from desktop. And that's because most applications, I do believe that Adobe will have to start making their applications in Metro. Sony Vegas will eventually be in Metro. I don't have any confirmed facts. I'm just telling you, this is my predictions by next year. That all these applications that you're used to working on will be Metrofied. Now, a lot of corporate businesses, they may have a harder time because they have to deal with thousands upon thousands of users, and that's a big upgrade. So corporate businesses that have proprietary software, like Whole Foods, you know, I'm not going to name the software, but we have like 3 pieces of software that I work with a lot that I cannot see them converting to Metro anytime soon. Now, in the next 5 years, yes, they will have to, because eventually Microsoft is they're not going to support Windows XP. They're not going to support Windows. I don't think they support Windows Vista anymore, and they're not going to support Windows 7 after 10 years. I mean, the support cycle runs out at some point, and Microsoft's going to be like, "That's old technology. We're not going to deal with that anymore. We don't support Windows 7. Bye. Upgrade." And they're going to have to upgrade to Windows 10 Professional or Windows 11 Professional, Enterprise, or whatever they're going to call it. Microsoft Office 2013 is a piece of glory. It's beautiful, and it works in Metro and also works in desktop. I am really happy to see that the Surface RT is going to come with, in fact, all RT devices, the Windows Phone 8, Windows Phone 7 as well, anything running the ARM chips from NVIDIA, they're going to include Microsoft Office built in. In fact, already Microsoft Office is a part of Windows Phone 7. I can imagine that Microsoft Office for Windows Phone 8 is going to have even more features that can work with your Office 365 account, or if you have on-premise software, or if you just have SkyDrive, if your business doesn't have Office 365 or on-premise Microsoft software. Will it ever work with Google apps? That depends upon Google. Google will have to create some native apps to work with Windows Phone, but I don't think that's going to happen. Can it happen? There's a possibility that if Windows Phone 8 takes over the market, that Google may be forced to come up with some Google Docs software for those who have Google. I mean, there may be some people out there who love Microsoft, but they work for a company that has Google apps. So they have to, of course, accommodate themselves and make sure that they can access Google Docs that way. If more people ask for it, that may happen. Will Windows Phone 8 take over the market? My predictions, not this year. My predictions, not next year. But here's what I believe. Windows Phone at this time is barely taking, let's say this is a chart here going across. It's barely taking up that much. Okay? Android has grown tremendously. They're taking up a huge chunk in the smartphone market. And Apple is taking up a large piece as well. This is Apple, this is Android, this is BlackBerry, and this is Windows Phone. Okay? That's currently. Now, with the integration of Xbox, Windows 8, and Windows Phone 8, a lot of companies that do. Oh, sorry about that. I did not mean to do that. Is that going to go away? Okay. I really did not mean to do that. Actually, that's kind of cool. Does it tilt with your head? Does it go with me? Yeah, it does. Interesting. Okay. Well, anyway, what I see here is that Windows Phone 8 may take over the market only if people see the relevance of integrating with their business applications. The increased security for enterprise is going to be a big plus because currently Windows Phone 7 doesn't have that. I'm not sure if they're going to do that with Windows 7.8, but we already heard from Microsoft saying that Windows Phone 8 is going to have enterprise-based security like BlackBerry has, which is going to enable a lot of IT staff and personnel, CIOs and technologists to adapt the Windows Phone for their businesses because they're using Microsoft Exchange and SharePoint. And so I do believe that that's going to be a big sell point for Windows Phone 8. Microsoft tries to sell their products in the consumer market for Windows Phone 8. I think they should also concentrate more heavily with businesses as well. They're trying to get away from businesses because the Windows mobile phones were used by businesses, people who were in business, more so than the consumer market. The iPhone cornered the consumer market. Microsoft is like, oh God, we should have listened. We should have, came up with something sooner. But here's the thing: if Windows Phone 8 has to increase security, they may start recommending Windows Phone 8 and only work with Windows Phone 8 if that's the case. We're going to see how that works. What Apple has planned, we don't know yet. There are some leaks out there, but we really don't know what Apple's going to come up with in the next couple of weeks. I'm definitely going to be sitting center stage to see what they're going to come out with. Apple makes really good products. I mean, I can't knock them. They're awesome. I would never buy it. but it doesn't mean that I don't appreciate the technology. Apple products are very solid devices. And well, if I had all the money in the world, would I buy an iPad? Hell yeah. But with a limited budget, I'm going to get the Nexus 7. I'm still going to get that, but I'm also going to get the Microsoft Surface 32-bit, and then I'm going to get a really nice 17-inch. It'll be next year sometime. I want to get a really nice 17-inch widescreen laptop with touchscreen capabilities, quad core, and all the jazz. I'm going to have the whole 9 yards. So 35 minutes I've been talking. I didn't do this live because the Ustream broadcast, I was, it was worse than this. This is a webcam that I'm using right now. This is a little webcam that's on top of the screen, but the picture quality and all that was really not good at all. And so I was very disappointed in the last Ustream live broadcast. The only way you can get really good picture quality from Ustream is if you have a dedicated camera that had a better picture quality. But right now it's got a webcam and it works good. It still has a little bit of blurriness if I move around too much. But this is sHiZ. You can visit my website at sHiZ.us. I'm also on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Subscribe there and like all the videos there. I do vlogs. I am reducing my vlogs from once a day to twice a week, but I'm also going to be doing multiple iLogs every single day. So that's something that I plan on working on. Keep in mind that I do work. I'm busy all the time and doing other things. I have my business running at the same time, so it is a little difficult to try to do these iLogs and vlogs. But the iLogs is more like impromptu video. I just get my camera out and I shoot, and I'm talking to myself to the camera, and like blah 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 blah, and then I turn it off. In fact, kind of a little kicker here. My battery's about to run out here. But this is how I do my vlogs. I turn on the video camera and start the recording, and I talk to myself just like this. Hey, so this is my vlog and my iLog, and I'm talking about this and that and the other. Yay! And I'll be uploading this video all by itself. What up? Darkness and redness, and where's the redness at? I'm not getting redness, and no whiteness. Okay, all right. For those of you who watch Toby Turner on YouTube, yes, he's he's big time on YouTube, over 2 million subscribers, and you'll understand that redness, darkness, redness, and whiteness, and boop, and all that stuff he does. So it's funny stuff, really, it is. All right, so I'm going to jump off right now. Peace out. Will you later? Oops, sorry, Chris. I didn't mean to steal your thing. Yeah. Shit. Yeah, whatever. All right, peace out.